Hello everyone, Twan Michelle here, narcissistic abuse recovery coach and mental health therapist. I am back with another video for you guys, and today I am going to talk to you about how to deal with toxic family members over these holidays. Now, if you're watching this video, you likely have gotten through the Thanksgiving holiday. Maybe you gathered with your toxic family. Maybe you did not. Maybe you're planning on being with them for the Christmas holiday and New Year's and you need some tips. So I am here to bring you the tips, okay? So I'm going to tell you about 6 helpful things that you can do in order to survive that holiday experience, that family gathering with all those toxic folk. So the first thing that you want to do is prepare in advance. You don't want to be caught off guard about anything. You want to know, where exactly are we gathering? Whose house are we going to be at? Who's going to be there? Because there may be some places you're not willing to go. There may be some family members you're not willing to be around. So you want to know in advance who's going to be there, what y'all are going to be doing. Is this going to be like a scheduled, structured kind of dinner? Is it going to be a more relaxed, casual experience where there's people hanging out and a lot of, small talk and side conversations? Is there going to be a lot of alcohol involved? You might have some of those family members who tend to drink a lot, and when they drink a lot, it just gets crazy. They start becoming really dysfunctional and chaotic and just causing a whole uproar at the family gathering. So you kind of want to know those things in advance. The wheres, the whats, the whos. Prepare in advance so that you know. I know where I'm going. I know what time I'm going. I know who's going to be there for the most part. There may be, some folks who come by and you weren't completely aware of that. But I have some additional tips that are going to help you deal with that. But prepare in advance so that you know exactly what's going on and you're not caught off guard. You don't want any surprises, because surprises with your toxic family are not good. The second tip that I'm going to give you for dealing with toxic family during the holidays is to take extra care of yourself. Extra self-care before, during, and after. So let's talk about some things you can do before you go to the gathering. Make sure you are doing whatever brings you peace, whatever makes you feel calm and stable. Maybe it's meditation, maybe you do some journaling. If you are seeing a therapist, be sure that you try and get a session before you participate in this gathering. If you have hobbies that make you feel peaceful and calm and serene, that you want to do those. Whatever it is for you that is a part of your self-care ritual, you want to make sure you're doing that. And during the holiday gathering itself, you might want to do some things whenever you're feeling stressed to help ground you. You might want to bring a grounding object, depending on what that is for you. If you have a special stone that you carry, or if you have something that is symbolic of peace and happiness and joy for you, think of the senses, things that appeal to your 5 senses. Maybe there are things you like to look at. Maybe you have a special picture on your phone. Maybe there's some soft music, meditation music that you can kind of step away from everyone and put that in your ear and play. Maybe there's a soft object that is soothing for you. Some folks like those little soft feathery keychain balls. Maybe you have something like that. Or perhaps there is something that appeals to your taste. Maybe you can carry some flavored gum or mints, or your favorite K-cup where you can make yourself a cup of coffee, or whatever it is that makes you feel grounded and brings you peace and gets you out of your head and helps you minimize stress. You can bring those things along with you to the gathering. Bring things that you like to smell. You can bring a nice scented lotion that helps you. Also, Lots of folks have been getting into aromatherapy. If you have any scented oils that are calming, if you have like a lavender, a peppermint oil that can be helpful, an orange oil that can boost your mood, then those things can help with your sense of smell if you want to use something for grounding. In addition to that, if you're going to be using any grounding objects, or even if you're not, feel free to take time out when you need to. When things start getting hectic, excuse yourself, take a break, go out to your car if you need to, go spend some extra time in the bathroom if you need to, whatever. Just take a time out when you feel yourself reaching your limit with your toxic family. Another thing you might want to do is be able to identify someone that you can talk to. Let's say there's a cousin, there's an aunt, there's an uncle, there's someone in that family that is not really toxic, who you kind of feel comfortable with. Maybe you can kind of hang out more with this person, maybe try and sit by this person during the dinner and just spend as much time you can with the folks in your family who are not toxic, and avoid spending lots of time with the actual toxic people in your family. Also, if you don't have anyone at the gathering who's not toxic, because sometimes, the whole family can be toxic. Make sure you have someone who you can, send a quick text to and communicate with in the moment when you need that break, when you need that relief. So these are things you can do to take care of yourself while you're there. And then after you leave that toxic gathering, go back to your regular self-care routine. You might want to up it a notch. Whatever it is that helps you feel peaceful, feel calm, feel stable, you might want to do more of that. Or you might want to add something to your self-care regimen to kind of bring yourself back to equilibrium. The third tip that I'm going to give you for dealing with your toxic family over the holidays is to protect your emotional boundaries. So important. They're going to try to bait you. They're going to try to trigger an emotional response from you. They're going to try to get all in your business. Do not overshare, okay? If they are asking about your life and they are toxic, it's not because they truly care and they are interested. It's because they want to know what's going on, because they want to have something to gossip about. They want to have something they can use against you. Y'all know, if these people are toxic, you know what they do. Don't overshare. Don't allow yourself to be vulnerable with people that can do you harm, people that you cannot trust, people that are toxic to you. Do not allow yourself to go there with them. Emotional walls need to come up when you're with toxic family members. And if you feel yourself getting baited, you feel yourself getting triggered, go back to the second tip that I gave you. Take a time out, do something grounding, go talk to someone else, but don't allow yourself to be emotionally provoked. We have emotional boundaries that people are not allowed to cross. Asking about our personal lives, our personal relationships, our finances, whatever, is not appropriate holiday gathering conversation, for one. Secondly, if they're a toxic family member and you really don't have a close relationship with them, that's not a subject of conversation that you're willing to have with them. So protect your emotional boundaries, protect all your boundaries. But I particularly wanted to talk about the emotional boundaries because that's where people tend to struggle when they get with family. When we get with family, it's easy to let the guard down because they know us so well. They know how to bait us. They know how to trigger us. They know how to, get us emotionally riled up. And we're not going to have that this holiday season, okay? We're not going to allow them to do that. We're going to protect our emotional boundaries. And the fourth tip that I'm going to give you for dealing with your toxic family over the holidays is to keep the time that you spend there pretty short. You want to go there as close as possible to the time where you're going to be having maybe a dinner, or if it's Christmas, maybe everyone gets together to exchange gifts. Keep your time short. And that goes back to number one, prepare in advance. If you know what time everything's going on, you can get there at that time. You can leave when it's over. You don't have to stick around for a long time and hang out. You don't have to stick around while everyone starts to drinking and all the chaos starts to happen. You don't have to stick around for all the fighting, all the drama. You don't have to stick around for that. You can go if you choose to go, which we'll get to that one. Plan how much time you're going to spend there. Keep it as short as possible. Leave when it's time to leave. And you know when it's time to leave. You know how things tend to play out in your family. So short, to the point, out. And the fifth tip that I'm going to give you to deal with your family toxic members during the holidays is to be prepared to leave at any moment. So I know that, I've given you some tips on how to take time out, how to ground yourself while you're there, how to protect your emotional boundaries, but you know your limit. And these toxic people, they can cross the line sometimes. A lot, not just sometimes, quite often. So be prepared to leave when you need to. If something is happening that's making you feel uncomfortable, if you find yourself getting really triggered, if you feel like you're about to lose control of your emotions, if you feel like you're about to go off on this person because you are tired of them provoking you and it's about to be a fight and I'm going to participate in this because I'm tired of it. Again, don't allow that. Don't allow yourself to be baited into that. Leave whenever you need to. Be prepared to drop everything and leave. To walk away from the dinner table, to walk away in the middle of a conversation. It doesn't matter. To protect your peace, your mental health, you have to be prepared to do that. And you may be wondering, well, what do I say to them? In those moments, you don't have to give an explanation. You just say, excuse me, I need to leave right now. And if you choose to talk to them about the reasons afterward, feel free to do so. But you don't have to give detail. You don't have to be specific. You just say, I needed to protect my peace. Assertiveness, protecting your boundaries, walking away when you need to, not owing anyone anything, not owing an explanation, not owing an apology. Peace and mental health before everything. And the last tip that I'm going to give you about how to deal with toxic family members over the holidays is quite simply, don't. If your family is really toxic and it's causing you a lot of anxiety just thinking about going, and you are dreading what could potentially happen, and maybe you've done a lot of work on yourself and you don't want to be pushed back into that place where you were before. Maybe you feel like you're not able to control yourself as much as you'd like to when you're triggered. Maybe you are aware that your peace and your mental health will be damaged if you go. Then don't go. And I know it's really hard to do that. I know there are, two sides of that. On the one hand, you may be thinking, well, but it's the holidays and I never go around. I make this one exception, this time of year. But you really don't have to. And on the other hand, you may be thinking, yeah, I don't have to, and I don't want to, and it's not good for me. And if you have to choose one over the other, I'm going to say always choose you. Always choose you. Choose your health, your mental health, your peace. And you may be feeling some guilt related to that, which you can deal with the guilt. You might feel like, oh, if I don't go, I'm going to feel like such a horrible daughter, sister, niece, aunt, whatever. But if you may, and you can acknowledge those feelings and you can feel it and you can process that and you can work through it. But putting yourself in a situation that it's going to be detrimental to your recovery, and all the work you've done on yourself just isn't worth it. So you make that decision for yourself. I'm not telling you not to go. I'm just saying that is an option. But it's up to you, and hopefully you found these tips helpful. If you did find the tips helpful, share it with other people, because I know this is something that people tend to struggle with. Folks have lots of questions about, how do I deal with my toxic family over the holidays? These are some tips that may work for them. So if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and do so. What are you waiting for? If you have any video topic ideas that you'd like to see, put that in the comment section down below. If you have any other tips on how to deal with toxic family members during the holidays, put that down below as well. And thanks so much for watching, guys. You are amazing. You guys are very supportive. I appreciate each and every one of you that tune in to watch these videos. And I think that is it. Until next time, take care. Bye.